What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my 2022 NFL mock draft. Way too early. I did this a few months back, and you guys seem to enjoy it. But I didn't know a lot about these prospects for this draft. But now, a few months later, I know a lot about these guys, and I think this will be a much better quality video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of things have changed in these boards. A lot of guys have risen. A lot of guys have dropped. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. Started off, we got the Detroit Lions with the first pick in the draft. Now, I think it's a no-brainer. It's Kayvon Thibodeaux. Because if you look at the quarterback position, Matt Corral, they could use a quarterback, but I don't think Jared Goff's horrible. And Matt Corral, he's decent, but I don't think he's a top 5 player in the draft. I think they have to have a quarterback that high. As you can see, it's a very weak quarterback class. Sam Howell has been inconsistent with the Tar Heels. Desmond Ridder is hit or miss guy. Very good at Cincinnati, but could he pan out in the league? Malik Willis, another same guy at Liberty, he hasn't really had a ton of competition. So could he do it in the league? Kenny Pickett, I really like him, just not up there. It's really, I think you just got to go with the no-brainer in Kayvon Thibodeaux. It builds up that defense. Your defense is very bad right now, but I think eventually you can improve it. And, 5-star, 6'5", 258, Kayvon Thibodeaux is the pick, and I think it's a no-brainer. The Jets at number 2, we're going to go with the Michigan man, Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson's really good. Hutchinson has risen a lot. Since the beginning of the year, 6'5", 270, got bigger size than Thibodeaux. But the thing about Hutchinson is that Hutchinson's just been so good at Oregon or at Michigan, and he's taken a massive leap up in the draft since I've last done this. Hutchinson, I think, definitely could give Thibodeaux a run for his money as the number 1 overall pick, and both these players are phenomenal, so I wouldn't be mad if they swapped. But I think Hutchinson at number 2 would be a steal for the Jets. At number 3, both edge rushers are off the board for the Jags. So I think you got to go. Where is he? Evan Neal out of Alabama, offensive tackle. Evan Neal is amazing. Evan Neal is a very, very good offensive tackle at Alabama. One of the best we've seen. And protecting your main guy in Trevor Lawrence is what they need to do at this point in time. They can't bring in any playmakers. I don't think they really need to go get Shaquille Griffin or Derek Stingley. They already have Shaquille Griffin, so I think they're fine at corner for now. Edge rusher, they're not going to take a reach. I don't think they'll reach on George Carlis. I think that's how you say his name. And there's no one really. So I think Evan Neal, protecting your franchise guy, and potentially helping him to develop as a quarterback would be the best possible situation for the Houston Texans. And then at number 4, we got for the Jacksonville Jaguars. At number 4, we got the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are a difficult team because do they go quarterback? And I think that's what they should do right here. And the question is, do they go on Matt Corral, who's been the best this season, or do they go on a guy like Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, who has been good in past seasons and been consistent? I think they take the risk. I think they take Matt Corral. Davis Mills, their second-round pick, got benched by Tyrod Taylor, so he's obviously not the guy that they want. Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be there, and I don't expect him to play a game with the Texans. And Tyrod Taylor, they're not going to keep. So I think you bring in Matt Corral, who's been very impressive for Ole Miss. I think you give him a shot to be that starting quarterback, and I think he really could pan out. He's a boom or bust type of guy, but I think the boom is what you want to look for, and I think it's a good chance that he becomes a very good player in this NFL league. The Giants at number 5, I think they're going to go with Ikem Ekwonu out of NC State. I'm an NC State fan, so this guy's really good. One of the best tackles in the class. Definitely the second best behind Evan Neal. But I don't think the Giants are in need of a quarterback right now. I think you can stick with Jones. I don't think he's the biggest problem on that team. I think it's the coaching. I think it's the offensive line. I think it's part of the defense. I think it's injuries. So I don't think Daniel Jones is the main reason problem. So I think if you want to roll with Daniel Jones, you keep Daniel Jones. If you want to go ahead and get maybe in the free agency market and get a quarterback, you go do that route. Maybe at number 7, you want to get a quarterback. But you're bringing in a dominant tackle like Iquanu out of NC State. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. But you protect that whoever's your quarterback, and that's a very good guy to have. Bring him in, put him on the other side of Andrew Thomas. It's a good young core offensive line. And I think it really could help out whoever's being the quarterback for this New York Giants team next season. The New York Jets at number 6, I mean, you look at offensive tackle, I don't know if they really go offensive tackle right here. Charles Cross is good out of Mississippi State. Offensive guard, interior offensive line, you got Kenyon Green, Tyler Linderbaum, great guys, but I don't think that's the pick for the Jets right here. And I think the Jets got to go with, I think the no-brainer for the Jets is Kyle Hamilton right here. Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley. I think the Jets go Derek Stingley right here. They're in need of a corner really bad. And bringing in a guy like Derek Stingley, very good. He's a physical corner, best corner in the class. Got good feet. You see down here, I mean, all these great things about him. He's got good coverage. He's good in zone. Stingley, they need a corner. Like, they don't have a true number 1 corner. And bringing in a guy like him who could develop into a potentially superstar cornerback and help go along with that already great defense could be a very good move for Robert Saleh as a young head coach. And I think it really could help out this Jets defense. The Giants at pick number 7. Now, the Giants are in a difficult situation because do you take a chance on Sam Howell? Do you take a chance on Desmond Ridder? I don't think you do. I mean, the 2017 draft, there's guys coming in free agency. Like Baker Mayfield, they could look into maybe if the Browns don't re-sign him. You got Mitchell Trubisky, maybe. Maybe if you want to roll the dice and go for a guy like Mason Rudolph. There's a bunch of potential quarterbacks that they could sign in the free agency pool. And, I mean, you could draft one later on in the draft, or you could just roll with Daniel Jones, which I think they should do. And I think they go out and get potentially the best player in this class, Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is very, very good. The leader of that Notre Dame defense. Part of the main reason why Notre Dame's been so competitive all season. And he's been just a very good for the Fighting Irish. I think bringing him to a New York Giants team, pair him up with James Bradbury and Logan Ryan and Jabril Peppers in that secondary, add him to an already great defense. I think it's a setup for success for the Giants. At pick number 8, we got the Eagles. The Eagles, this is tough for them because I think they could go cornerback and go Kaiir Lame or Ahmad Gardner or Andrew Booth. A bunch of great options right here. But I think the pick you got to go with is George Karlaftis, the edge rusher out of Purdue. Sorry if I butchered his name. I mean, he's right behind Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau at edge. And I think you pair him up with Brandon Graham's getting old. So you pair him up with a guy like Josh Sweat, who they just gave a bunch of money. You still got Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham can still be good. The Eagles could have one of the best D-lines in the league. And with this top 10 pick, I don't think you give up on Jalen Hurts. You could go receiver, but I don't think you want to rush that. I think the O-line's fine. And on defense, I think they should prioritize the defensive line over the secondary. I think bringing a guy like him in would be great. Out of Purdue, very, very good. I mean, he's got good speed, got good strength, and get off the ball quickly. So I think that's a good pick for the Eagles. Pick number 9, we got the Falcons. I think you go DeMarvin Leal or you go Jordan Davis. Both these guys are really good. But I think you go Jordan Davis out of Georgia. And I think pairing him up with Grady Jarrett would be a very scary combo for opposing quarterbacks. And the Falcons, their biggest weakness is their defense. Hopefully Calvin Ridley can bounce back for the Falcons next year. We all know that they got Kyle Pitts. Cordell Patterson we've seen can be good. Matt Ryan still is a serviceable quarterback. I think we all know that their offense is just about fine. It's the defense that's been holding them back in games. So I think bringing bringing in a guy like Jordan Davis out of Georgia, pairing him up with Grady Jarrett on that defensive line, it could be very scary, and it's a start that they could possibly bring in a much better defense in the future years. The Washington football team at 10, Kyle Hamilton would be the perfect fit for them, but of course he's not here. And I think you got to go quarterback right here. And the question is Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Sam Howell. Unless they want to roll with Taylor Heinicke, which wouldn't all be that terrible. But I think you roll the dice and you take a chance on Desmond Ridder. This is a bit of a crazy pick because I'm not impressed by Sam Howell. I think Desmond Ridder, what he's been able to do with that Cincinnati offense, leading them in the past 2 seasons to be one of the top teams in the country. Desmond Ridder has been a very, very good quarterback, and without them, I don't think Cincinnati would be where they are now. So I think Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati been very great. Got a good arm, decent pocket presence, got decent speed. I think Desmond Ridder will be a good pick for them, and I wouldn't even be mad if they took Sam Howell either. Next, we got the Eagles at pick 11, and I think this is where they go Kaiir Lamb out of Florida. Kaiir Lamb, potentially the best corner in the class. I think it's safe to say that Derek Stingley is, but Kaiir Lamb is right up there with, I think, Andrew Booth for the second best corner. Kaiir Lamb, a great player out of Florida. One of the reasons why Florida has that great secondary. He's got good size, he's got good speed, he's got good man coverage, he can press on you. So Kaiir Lamb, he's got good press coverage, man coverage, he's pretty good. So Kaiir Lamb at 11, pairing him up with Darius Slay, I think it's a very good pick. At number 12, you got the Carolina Panthers. Do they go quarterback? Do they take a chance on Sam Howell? Do they keep him in Carolina? I'd want to say yeah, but I think they go. This is a really tough decision, but I think they go. I think they will go to Marvin Leal with this pick, and pair him up with Derek Brown to assemble their already great defense. Because the problem with the Panthers is, do they give Darnold another shot? Do they roll with Cam? Do they roll with PJ Walker? Like, there's so many different options for the Panthers right now at quarterback. And as much as a great storyline it would be to keep Sam Howell in North Carolina, I don't think it's all that realistic. And I think DeMarvin Leal, the Texas A&M, possibly a top 7 player in this class, is bringing him into Carolina, pairing him up with Derek Brown. I think that they could both wreak havoc, and then you have guys on the outside, Shaq Thompson, and Hassan Reddick, Jeremy Chin to wrap everyone up, but causing havoc in the middle with Derek Brown and Marvin Leal, that would be very deadly, and that would assert this Carolina's defense. The Broncos at 13, this is where a quarterback goes. I think this is where Sam Howell and Murray Willis. I think Sam Howell, this is where Sam Howell gets taken. As much as I think Sam Howell doesn't deserve to be taken over Malik Willis, I think I've seen more out of Sam Howell. Now, he hasn't been the greatest this year. I think that's very easy to say. But I think what we have noticed is that Sam Howell's been able to keep up consistency. Like, he's been good. Last year, he was very good. This year, he was expected to be good, wasn't as good. But Sam Howell, I still think, has potential to revive his career in the NFL and potentially go into a Denver Broncos team that has good weapons and that he can possibly turn around. So I think Sam Howell is a good pickup at 13. The Dolphins at 14, I don't see them. I don't think they should go receiver as much as I like Chris Olave. I like Garrett Wilson. I like a lot of the guys that are available. But I think the safest pick, I don't know why it says they don't need an offensive lineman, but I think the best pick right here is to go Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. I mean, he's the best center in the class. I mean, in Miami's O-line is atrocious. If they want to roll with Tua Tagovailoa, they're going to have to protect him. And Tua, we've all seen he isn't good when he's not protected. And bringing in a guy like Linderbaum who can man the center of the offensive line, you can build around him, you can put guys around him. Tyler Linderbaum is a great start for this O-line, and he's a very good player to protect Tua Tagovailoa. As much as I will want them to go pair up Jalen Waddle with Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave, I just think they got to prioritize offensive line and protect Tua before they go out and get flashy playmakers. Pick number 15, the Raiders. Do they replace Henry Ruggs with Chris Olave? I want them to. but I think they got to prioritize the defensive side of the ball. At edge rusher, I don't really think you got to reach on anyone. Drake Jackson's good. Myjai Sanders is good. But inside defensive line, I don't think you reach on any of these guys. At linebacker, there's Devin Lloyd. I really like Devin Lloyd as a player, but I think you got to go with Charles Cross right here to build up that offensive line. You took Alex Leatherwood last year, received a lot of hate from that, thinking it was a reach. But I think Leatherwood hasn't been terrible. And I think if you bring in Charles Cross to put him on the other side of him and protect Derek Carr, I think it will be good. They could bring in a flashy playmaker since Henry Ruggs is pretty much done. Deshaun Jackson's getting older. But I think Charles Cross right here is a safe pickup. I think it's a very good pick. He's great offensive lineman, good for taking out defenders on the edge, good size, good speed. He's pretty agile, got good power. And then the Eagles with another first-round pick here at 16. And safety, there's not a safety they're going to take. Like, maybe, Jaquan Brisker, I don't really see it happen. Jordan Battle's pretty good, but these guys, I don't really see it happening. But what I do like an idea is running back, you could go Kenneth Walker. He's a very good player. But you go Chris Olave. I mean, out of Ohio State, you pair him up with what Devontae Smith. I can't believe I forgot his name, but you pair Chris Olave up with Devontae Smith in 5 years. Right now, in 5 years, I mean, that will be the most dominant duo in the league. That will be a remake of Antonio Brown and Juju in 2017, or DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. That would be a remake. And Chris Olave, such a great player out of Ohio State, I think it's a no-brainer. You put another great receiver around Jalen Hurts with Devontae Smith. Pick number 17, the Browns. The Browns, I think they could use receiver bad. And as much as I would like to see them go prioritize the offensive line, I don't think they need it. I think what they've done so far on offensive line has been impressive. So I think back-to-back Ohio State receivers. You keep Garrett Wilson in Ohio. I think that's a very good pickup for them. He could potentially replace Odell Beckham. Jarvis Landry, very good, but we haven't seen a lot of Donovan Peoples-Jones and Rashard Higgins. I think bringing in a guy like Garrett Wilson to complement to Jarvis Landry and help develop Baker Mayfield's career, that could be a great pickup, and I think it's a safe pick for the Browns. Pick number 18, these Steelers. This is where they go quarterback. It's Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. What do they want to go? I want to say Kenny Pickett, but I think they go. I think it's safe. This is tough, because future picks, I don't know. This is tough. And Malik Willis, he's a better scrambler, but I don't know if the Steelers want to go that route. So I have the Steelers taking Kenny Pickett, keeping him in Pittsburgh. Technically keeping him in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett's a very well-developed quarterback. He's the main reason why Pittsburgh's been so good in the ACC this season. And Kenny Pickett, he doesn't have a flashy arm, doesn't have flashy legs, but he has high football IQ, got good decision making, and Pittsburgh's been really good, and that's going to affect his draft stock. So I think Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh will be going to his hometown, or not his hometown, but I think he'll be staying in the city and going to the Steelers. Pick number 19, the Saints. Jameis Winston, do they want to roll with him? Do they want to roll with Jameis Winston, or they want to go a flashy receiver? I think this is where Malik Willis is taken. I mean, you bring in a guy like Malik Willis. Malik Willis can honestly serve as a guy like Taysom Hill, but because I don't believe in Taysom Hill. I don't think the Saints do. Trevor Siemian, we all know, isn't the answer after these last few games. And Jameis Winston, he's really hit or miss. Jameis Winston, do they want to roll with him as their long-term quarterback? Yes, maybe they do, and maybe they keep Malik Willis on the bench. But I think it's safest for Malik Willis, the Saints, to take Malik Willis. So if they go the wrong way with Jameis Winston, he doesn't perform at the best level. Malik Willis is there, and he can jump in, and he can make some plays. And I think Malik Willis is that type of guy that would be a great fit for New Orleans Saints. Pick number 20, the Minnesota Vikings are on the board. The Vikings could use a lot right here. Kenyon Green could be a good pick. They could pair Devin Lloyd up. They could pair up Eric Kendricks with Devin Lloyd. But I think that a good pick right here is Andrew Booth out of Clemson. Very, very good corner. Like Andrew Booth, and now he's a physical corner. He can make plays. He's a good tackler. He's good in man coverage. He's pretty much good at it all. And a weak secondary for the Vikings. And I think you bring in a young corner like him that could really do a lot for the secondary, improving their defense, and hopefully helping them improve their defense so that they can get over what it takes to beat the Green Bay Packers consistently and hopefully win the NFC South. I think Andrew Booth's a great pick at number 20 for the Minnesota Vikings. And then the Bills at 21, I think they go Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. I think that's a very good pick, protecting Josh Allen and hopefully develop in a run game with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, because they haven't been able to produce a run game, and that's a main reason is because of the run blocking. Kenyon Green can change that. Very good offensive lineman, good run blocker, and can pass protect. We all know that the Bills want to run the ball, but they just can't. Bringing in a guy like Kenyon Green who can help in the run blocking run support blocking game, I think that could be a very good pickup, and I think the Bills would like this pick. Chargers at 22. This is really like just what they want to go. Tight end Jalen Weidermeyer. I mean, he's there. I don't know if you really want to reach on that. But inside defensive line, there's no one. Edge rusher, not really. David Ajoba, good out of Michigan. He was yeah, I guess they could go him. He was good with Aiden Hutchinson, and he's been able to produce some sacks. He's good off the edge. As you can see, 4-star, got good size. Could potentially move him to defensive end or defensive tackle, maybe back to linebacker. But I think he's a good player, and that will help improve the Chargers' defensive line, which they could use help on. The Bengals at 23. I think they gotta protect. Joe Burrow. Like they didn't prioritize it last year. The interior offensive line isn't looking great. Darian Kinnard, Dion Johnson, not a lot of great options. Yeah, so I think what you got to go right here is I think you can go with I think you go Trevor Pennon out of Northern Iowa. He's a good blocker, but I think whether it's Trevor Pennon or Darian Kinnard or Nicholas Petit-Free or any one of these guys, the main prioritization is protecting Joe Burrow, and they didn't prioritize that last season. So if they want to get better, they got to protect their franchise guy. They got to protect Joe Mixon. And if you can keep Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon on the field, the Bengals are going to have success like they are this season. And we all know that they want that. The Bucks at 24, I highly doubt the Bucks get the 24th pick. I think they'll get the 32nd pick. But the Bucks at 24, what could they go right here? I think it's prioritizing the D-line. Or O-line you could put. But I think right here, they go Myjai Sanders out of Cincinnati. Really good edge rusher for Cincinnati, part of that great Cincinnati defense. And I mean, the Bucks they got an aging defensive line. I mean, Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul, Levante David. You got to bring in young guys. They brought in Joe Tyrone last year. They can bring in Myjai Sanders this year. I think that would be a good fit for them at 24. 25, the Chiefs. Do they go receiver? I think they could. I mean, if they want to. And Jamison Williams, really good at Alabama. Replaced Jerry Jeudy and Jalen Waddle really well this season. Treylon Burks is really good out of Arkansas. So I think the pick right here has got to be Treylon Burks. This is a tough pick. I think the Chiefs take a chance, and I think they go for that big body receiver in Treylon Burks. They got the speed. We all know that. They got Mecole Hardman. They got Mecole Hardman. They got Tyreek Hill, of course. Demarcus Robinson's quick. So I think you bring in that big body receiver who can go up and get the ball for the Chiefs. Their offense has had trouble. Their defense has been good lately. But Treylon Burks, good pick. Good pick at 25. I like it. 26, the New England Patriots. I like the idea of going receiver, but I just don't think I don't know if they will. But Devin Lloyd, very intriguing. Ahmad Gardner, very intriguing. So I think the pick right here will be Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati. They could go Jamison Williams. They pair up the former Alabama player Mac Jones with his former receiver Jamison Williams. But with the loss of Stephon Gilmore and with the Jonathan Jones being injured, I think Ahmad Gardner pairing him up with J.C. Jackson and Jalen Mills in the secondary could very relive this. It could really bring life back to this defense. As it's been so good already this season, I think you bring in a young corner and that could benefit them a lot. So with 26 pick, my Patriots taking Ahmad Gardner. I like that. Lions at 27. I think the Lions. This is where they go. No, I don't think they reach on Carson Strong. So the Lions right here. I think they're going to take Devin Lloyd. I mean, he's just been sitting here. So I think Devin Lloyd or Jahan Dotson, Jameson. I think they go Jamison Williams right here, actually. Nah, Devin Lloyd, he's 16th player in the class. I mean, the Lions have nothing to lose. They need to improve the defense. Bringing in a young linebacker like him, very, very good out of Utah. I think that'd be the perfect pick right there. And it's just an easy pick. I think it's a lot like how the Cowboys took Micah Parsons. All the guys they wanted were off the board, so they just took a chance on a guy like him. So I think Devin Lloyd right here is a good pick for the Lions. He's a great run stopper, decent in pass coverage. I think Devin Lloyd's a perfect pick right here for the Lions. Cowboys at pick 28. I think they got to prioritize the second, and I think Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State right here is the perfect pick. I mean, their secondary has been decent. It hasn't been great, actually, this season. Trevon Diggs, major surprise. He's been very good. 8 interceptions so far this season, I'm pretty sure. But we've seen Anthony Brown had a very hard game yesterday. And there isn't a lot of talent in that secondary. Bringing in a guy like him could really bring some life and possibly improve the secondary tremendously. And out of Penn State, I think this is a good pick. Pick 29, the Ravens. This is a tough one. They could go receiver, could go corner. I mean, Trent McDuffie out of Washington, he's not bad. Darren Kendrick out of Georgia. Inside defensive line, I don't love what's the options. Devontae Wyatt, don't love those options right there. At edge rusher, not a lot. Actually, yeah, I think they'll go Drake Jackson out of USC right here. Drake Jackson, I think, is a forgotten player, but for the Trojans, he's been very good. Like he's fast, he's quick off the line, he's got good power. 4 stars, you see 6'4", 250, doesn't have greatest size, but I think you could position him at outside linebacker possibly. He's versatile. So at 29, Drake Jackson, I think that's a fair pick. The Packers at 30, I think the Packers got to go offensive line. Like I think they're kind of forced to go offensive line, whether it's Nicholas Petit or you go interior offensive line maybe and go Darren Kinnard. But I think you go Nicholas Petit right here. I think that's a fair pick. Because with David Bakhtiari getting older, he's getting injured a lot. Elgton Jenkins, he's good, also been getting injured a lot. And that's basically it. They lost Brian Bulaga and they lost Corey Linsley in the past few seasons. Bringing in a young guy like him could really benefit them. So to improve their O-line and help protect Rodgers. Or they could go receiver if they want. But at 31, the Titans. The Titans could go many places right here. Like they could go anywhere right here. But I'm gonna have a bit of a surprising pick, and I'm gonna have them go Jalen Weidermeyer out of Texas A&M. Very versatile tight end, got good speed, and there isn't that very very good tight end. There hasn't been like that really good tight end this season. In the draft, like there was Kyle Pitts last year or T.J. Hawkins in a few years back. But Weidermeyer, he's a good tight end. I think he could maybe sneak in the first round. Team like the Titans, they could use a tight end. They could use another weapon on that offense to complement to A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and Derrick Henry. I think Jalen Weidermeyer is a good fit. And then the last pick in the draft, the Arizona Cardinals at pick 32. This is a difficult pick. Jamison Williams, they could go. Daxton Hill, they could go. but I think they need to go running back. We'll check out running back Kenneth Walker. I think they could go Kenneth Walker, and I will have them go Kenneth Walker out of Ohio, Michigan State. But this is the draft I have. Kenneth Walker, I think he's a very, very good running back this season. Been the best running back in college football this season. And I think with the questionable James Conner, Chase Edmonds can be injury prone. I think Cardinals bringing in a weapon for Kyler Murray to run, give the ball to, would be a good option. This is my draft. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like for another mock draft, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.